This is it, the Huawei Mate XT. A phone could completely change the high-end market. Inside the box, there are two 66-volt chargers and two Type-C cables. Notably, the package also includes an earphone and a unique phone case which can be used as the perfect stand. Huawei Mate XT uses a 10.2-inch 3K level OLED screen. The refresh rate is only 90 Hz, but the resolution is the highest of Huawei's on-sale mobile devices right now. Yes, it's even higher than the 13.2-inch MatePad Pro. There's no way to know the maximum display resolution supported by the Kirin 9010. But in reference to Snapdragon chips, I'd argue that the chip's performance is one of the reasons Huawei chose 90 Hz. When it is completely unfolded, this screen has 650 nits manual maximum brightness and 1070 nits full screen peak brightness. Better than I expected. When I actually hold this little monster in my hand, a 3.6mm thick 10.2-inch screen with 1000 nits is something I have never experienced before. In terms of color, the Huawei maintains a high standard with fairly accurate colors in standard mode, a standard 6500K color temperature, and support automatic color gamma switching. Of course, if you want more saturated colors, vivid mode is a good option. There are things that the screen doesn't do well. For example, the brightness uniformity, which is only 89% when completely unfolded. When using two screens, it's just passable. The bigger the screen, the harder to get the brightness uniformity right. But for a $3,500 phone, that's a drawback. If you know more about screens, you'll notice a very strange phenomenon. There is a directional decay in the brightness of the screen, something we have never seen on a foldable phone before, and we don't know why. Huawei Mate XT is equipped with Kirin 9010, an SoC designed by Huawei. Here's the theoretical performance of the chip. You can pause and take a closer look here. In game test, due to this unique trifold screen, there's something interesting. First, Honor of King. The difference between the screens allows us to roughly calculate the power consumption of the screen at 260 nits. In Genshin Impact, frame interpolation is turned on by default, so the performance isn't worth referencing. The focus is on frame rate in different states. Completely folded and using two screens with the same resolution, but different in temperatures and average frame rate. It's hard to explain. Actually, these needs to be considered in conjunction with the placement of the SoC. And it's not surprising that there is a relatively large loss of the heat dissipation when using two screens. In Honkai Star Rail, the game has a huge amount of GPU demand, and the load is even higher than Genshin. Kirin 9010 can actually run this game very well, but look at this frame rate graph. This performance is a bit too bad. Why doesn't it offer a stable 30 FPS instead of opting for such inconsistent performance? In fact, many phones with the Kirin chip perform similarly in games. I can only assume that Huawei is not optimized for gaming. After looking at all the games, we can calculate the passive cooling capacity of the phone at 25 degrees room temperature, which is about 5 volt. Honestly, it's better than I expected. The Huawei Mate XT has a very unique design. My favorite is this hand-forged metal next to the camera decal. Simply put, it's similar to Damascus steel. It means each Mate XT has its unique pattern. I like it. Please know that Huawei Mate XT doesn't use leather. Instead, it uses an ultra-thin synthetic leather material. There are also some gold lines in the middle of the hinge. I'm not sure if it's hand-painted like the Rolls-Royce, but it looks great. It has a 5600 mAh silicon battery, which is not bad if you just use one screen. Then it performs about as well as a normal phone. But when it is completely unfolded, that 3K screen will reduce the battery life. I'm not going to complain. For a trifold phone, that gives me a choice between thickness and battery. I'm definitely going to go with thickness. The phone is powered by HarmonyOS 4.2. When using apps like TikTok, just turn around the phone and you will get a much larger view than regular phone. When using more complex apps, you can use them in a similar way to a normal foldable phone, and you can freely bind and unbind different pages. The 16:11 screen is much better than the 1:1 of the regular foldable phone, with a more effective display area for watching videos, for example. And a 16:11 Mate XT is closer to a regular phone when it comes to playing games. When using multiple apps, you can even adjust the size of the apps as you like. In short, This phone is the tablet that fits in your pocket. Now let's talk about something more realistic. Is it possible to install GMS and global apps on the Mate XT that runs HarmonyOS 4.2? It's a yes. For some reason, I can't show you how to install here, but you can find the answer on YouTube. Second question, is the Chinese version worth buying? My suggestion is to wait. If you want to buy the phone right now, you will probably have to spend a lot more than $3,500. And if a global version of the phone is released, it will use EMUI, which is much more suited to global users than HarmonyOS. So that is all about Huawei Mate XT. Hope you like it, and don't forget to like and subscribe. This is HUAWEI channel. See you in our next video.